let's suppose somebody's watching this and say, I want to be like Mr. Dangote, I want to be a successful businessman in Africa. What are the attributes, or anywhere, what are the attributes that you think you have brought to the table which make you successful? Is it intelligence, hard work, persistence, all of those things? What would you say are the most important attributes?
I think the most important one, number one, David, if you are going into any business, you must understand the business A to Z. You must know that business. You shouldn't just go and invest because somebody now will say, okay, hey, you know, there's good money in cement, then you go and jump into cement. You have to understand the business in and out, and that's the difference with me. I know my business in and out. You can wake me up any time and ask me about fertilizer, ask me about anything that we are doing.
What Dangote is really saying here is that success doesn't begin with money, it begins with mastery. Before you step into a business, you must turn it over in your hands like a craftsman inspecting every grain and curve. You need to know its risks, its seasons, its hidden corners. Many people chase opportunities like butterflies, running wherever someone says there's money here. But Dangote reminds us that true wealth comes from understanding, not from copying others. He treats each business like a world with its own language, one he studies until it becomes as natural as breathing. This is why he says you can wake him up at any hour and ask about cement, fertilizer, sugar, or refineries, and he'll answer without hesitation. His knowledge isn't memorized, it's lived.
And the other one is really to work very hard, and you have to have the tenacity of continuing to, you have some hiccups here and there, but you have to be focused in terms of what you are doing.
Now, I've known you for a while, and I never seem to get you to yell or scream, or you seem very low-key. You don't use the technique of yelling and screaming at people, or you're just very low-key and even-keeled. To what do you attribute that, or am I wrong?
I think, no, you're not wrong. That's my nature. I'm very quiet, and I'm very, very calm. I get upset sometimes when people try to be, either to outsmart me or I don't like people who will not tell me the truth. I always like people to look at me through, and tell me the truth.
So are you investing any in the United States?
We are going to start investing, in the United States just after this project. We want to open a family office, both in New York and in London. We already have an office in London which has been operating for the last 30 years.
Here, he expands the map. Understanding the business is the foundation, but endurance is the engine. Success is rarely a smooth road. There are days when plans collapse, when partners disappoint, when the numbers refuse to behave. Yet the difference between the successful and the defeated is simple. The successful keep walking. Dangote's strength isn't loud, it's persistent. He doesn't lead through noise or intimidation. His style is calm, like a lake that refuses to be stirred by every passing wind. He saves his energy for what matters, but beneath that calmness is a firm expectation, honesty. He can tolerate many things, but not betrayal or deception. To him, truth is the oxygen of business. Without it, everything suffocates.
Yes. So we want to turn part of that, as a family office so that we can diversify the wealth. As you know, I've discussed this with you before, where, sometimes in Africa you have issues of devaluation, so we want to really preserve some of the family's wealth.
Right. Now, sometimes wealthy people, they collect art, they collect cars, they collect other things, or what some of your wealth that you're not using for philanthropy, what do you do with it? Are you a collector of things, or?
I'm not really a collector of arts, anytime when I have excess money, I like to put more in terms of charity. I don't really have very expensive lifestyle.
What he's describing is strategic evolution. After decades of building empires across Africa, he now wants to place anchors in global financial centers like New York and London. This isn't about prestige, it's about stability. African currencies often face unpredictable storms, inflation, devaluation, policy shifts. A wise builder doesn't keep all his bricks in one climate. By opening family offices abroad, he is planting part of his tree where the soil is more stable, ensuring the fruits last for generations. It's long-term thinking, the kind that builds dynasties, not just businesses.
And the great pleasure of your life is just building your company and then giving away extra money?
That's my greatest pleasure. pleasure in life.
And finally, he opens the window to his personal values. While some billionaires decorate their lives with collections,